They suggested that the Society of Pius X rejects part of the Catholic faith and does not have a mission from the Pope because they ordained bishops without the approval of Pope John Paul II.
They have to demonstrate which concrete parts of the Catholic faith the Society of Pius X is rejecting. I don't know. They do not reject nothing to make the profession of faith, as all the saints did. And they do, the so-called Tridentine profession of faith. The Society of Pius X are doing this. And so the other question is the issue of the ordination of a bishop without the approval or the permission of a pope. This concrete item is not a concrete item of the deposit of faith, because it is what is deposit of faith that ordained bishop, to be a Catholic, must recognize the doctrine of faith, the dogma about the primacy of the Pope, the infallibility, and all the dogmas. And then the second condition to be a Catholic bishop is to mention the Pope in the Holy Mass. This is the most concrete expression of the communion, hierarchical communion with the Pope. And this did all the bishops of all the times in the, let us say, in the first millennium. It is a long time. This was the method. They were elected and ordained without the participation of the Pope, the majority of the bishops in the ancient church. But after their ordination, they expressed their communion with the Pope in different ways, by a letter sending to the Pope, and the Pope answered them that he recognizes them by mentioning him in the Holy Mass. And this was sufficient. And this is, the church could not go 1,000 years in an error with this concrete method of how a bishop expresses his canonical union with the Pope. In the second millennium, there was developed a kind of extreme papal centrism. And after the First Vatican Council, this Roman centralism was extended ever more. And now with Pope Francis, we have the peak of this, the culmination of this, to my opinion, non-healthy papal centralism. It is a situation of extreme crisis of the church. We have to take into account this. And emergency situation. And in an emergency situation, we have, this is an exception. Of course, a Catholic bishop has to receive concrete his mission from the Pope. This concrete, practical form of papal centrism, it is not the essence of our Catholic faith. It is a mode which can change. It was not so in the first millennium. I think they have a mission from the church, implicitly, the bishops of the Society of Pius X and the priests, because of the extraordinary difficulties of the church, and they are, as long as they are ready to completely submit themselves and their episcopacy, when they will come again, the Holy See will be occupied by popes and cardinals who are unambiguously and 100% traditional. I assume that the bishops of the Society of Pius X are continuing to have this intention, as Archbishop Lefebvre said to them.